Hi, and welcome back to the Ascension Playground. My name is Ursie, and today on the playground, I am joined by one of my favorite guests, Krista. As you may recall, Krista joined us before and gave free animal totem spirit readings. So we're so happy to have her come back because some more fun things have happened since the last time Krista joined us on the playground. So hey, Krista, how are you?
Ursie, I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
Hello. Well, I've been kind of a little bit like, what's going on with this eclipse energy? I mean, I'm thinking I'm still on Earth, but I get a little dizzy. I have to go take a nap.
Yep. I've been super dizzy, but I figure I'm just the dizzy broad anyway. My husband would have said that.
No.
Just a little out there all the time, but yeah, the eclipse certainly has aided me in that. I've been a little bit on the wobbly side.
Yeah, it's almost like such a super powerful eclipse that many of us are talking about, hey, what might come through in this energy, or just be aware that more in your dreams may come through, or, who shows up, the synchronicities, the serendipity.
It's a time to pay attention for sure.
Pay attention. So today I wanted to share with everybody that when I was feeling a little dizzy from the eclipse, I texted Krista, hey, is there a special totem animal that wants to carry us through in this new portal of energy? And Krista said to me, well, let me check. And so she checked, and we want to share with you what came through. But let me first get a nice little image. So Krista, go ahead and share a little bit from your own words. What did happen when, you went hunting for an animal totem?
Okay, well, I called and I heard clearly, no, there's no animal connected to this particularly. But I started getting a vision then. And so shall I read that vision?
Well, can I ask you before we do that, do you oftentimes get visions?
If I ask, well, I get visions of the animals, of course.
Wow.
So they come to me, and I haven't asked for this sort of thing before. What is an image of the eclipse that you want to send me? And so I just watched, just like I do for the animals, and it came in. As you can see, there's some rain there. So I'm going to start reading this.
Okay, so just to let everyone know, Krista is going to read to us the download that she received based on a question that I asked her. So it's a little bit of sit back and listen, but this download is for the collective. Okay, Krista, take it away.
All right. I see the word truth in large capital letters gliding down towards me. Drops like rain start falling. But they are not rain, but tear-shaped crystal droplets raining down. They're hitting the ground, making noise as they strike each other. More and more rain down everywhere. The sound they make is amazing. I see the legs and feet of a large man. He is wearing dark-colored pants and heavy-looking shoes. He starts crunching through the crystal droplets, smashing them to bits on purpose. I look in the distance, where there are a few more scattered men dressed in similar fashion doing the very same thing. Then a young woman in a flowing, long dress glides towards me. She begins carefully picking up the crystal pieces one by one and laying them out neatly in a basket she's carrying. I look around. There are many more women doing the same thing, many more gathering up than are destroying. And then the women begin handing the crystals out to people who come forward. I hear the crystal raindrops represents new options, new inspirations, and new ways of transmitting the truth of existence. This lunar eclipse season is opening you up, if you are willing. While the old male energy of dominance and keeping things just as they've always been is trying to stop the changes, largely because of fear, the energetic changes are everywhere at once, like rain, and no way to stop them. The feminine intuitive energy holds up these truths to the light, gathering and sharing them. I look again as another foot crunches down on some crystals, breaking them to pieces. But I see they begin piercing the soles of the man's shoe like needles and rise up into him. He doesn't seem to notice. So from this, I get that the energies of newness, of new ways and discoveries will pass into the unconscious, even if they are not yet accepted consciously. So that's what I got.
Wow. Well, let me just stop sharing there for a minute. That's a pretty potent download.
Yes, it was. And to see, to see these, I couldn't tell what it was at first. It looked like, but it wasn't rain, and they were tear-shaped and rounded in all directions. But you think about a crystal and what it is, it's a transmitter, and it's also a purifier and a healer. So the quartz crystal. So, that's a very nice message. And the fact that it's just like rain, there's too much to stop. You can't stomp on a raindrop and tell the rain to stop. It doesn't happen. And that's the period of life we're in right now. It's happening. Whether a few people are worried about it and trying to stop it, in old institutions and so forth, it's going to happen. It's happening. So this is all good news.
Wow. Wow. The image that comes up for me is that, we did the shift of ages back in 2012. The big shift gave us the image of the butterfly. And so when you were reading about the crystal raindrops and men crunching on them, it's almost like before the chrysalis can open, it goes through such a destructive time. That caterpillar basically turns into goo. And before it can, get its wings and fly. So it's a huge transformative time that we're sitting in.
I just got a butterfly for a woman yesterday, and it was such a beautiful message. I don't have it here with me. I wish I did. But it was such a beautiful message about transformation. And it was just, at the end, it was just fly with me. It was just wonderful. It made me shiver, as they often do.
That is so beautiful that you give these animal readings. So, you have many ways to tap into the multidimensional realms. So one way that I've seen your artistry work is you give people these soul readings of like their spirit animal guide. And then the other is channeling these amazing books of the other realms, but done in a way and a narrative that is very, very easy to embrace through the view of a child. And now this third way of receiving a download. And so I love that you are open for a question like, what's the animal totem for the eclipse, Krista? Not knowing
her animal totems. It had to be an animal, but it wasn't.
But it wasn't. And so this idea of being able to tune in to receive information. Now that word download might be new for some people. And let me just define what I would think a definition might include. It's when you're so in coherence, you align your energy system, you say, okay, I'm open to receiving, and you ask a question, or you just be still and say, tell me what wants to come through. And what you just read to us has so many metaphors in it. But before we break the metaphors down, I was wondering, I'd like to be able to go back and share with everyone another picture, because Krista, can you tell us what happened next? You have a special guide named Galen. Could you share with us a little bit about who Galen is?
Well, he's been my master guide and teacher for as long as I've been, probably many lifetimes. What he said is actually we would guide each other depending on who was in physical form at the time. But he's really, he's definitely just a very wise spirit, and he's here with me day and night all the time. Though I'm sure he's in different places, probably with different me's and different lifetimes at the same time as well. but he says that he's here mostly with me in this lifetime because this is a pivotal one for, you know, for all of us really.
Wow.
So it's exciting to have him near. And one of the neatest things is after 40 years of hearing him, I finally saw him in a dream clearly the other night. I went, whoa, there is a master teacher. So I finally have a face and a, you know, what appears to be a face and a body to go along with the voice that I've been hearing for so long.
Wow.
So it took a long time, but there we go. It's very nice.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll work on my vocal skills and I'll try and read to everybody in the voice of Galen. So we can add Galen's message to the download you received, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. This is Galen. As you noted, what is happening to shift valances, yes, the constant pounding of unwanted events is tiring, mentally, emotionally, and to your spiritual center. Best to remember that all must be seen, experienced, and fully understood before needed changes, yes, slide into place. So today, as the eclipse energy is especially sharp, keep loving and caring at the forefront of your attention. If you feel sudden aggravation or sadness, say hello to it, recognize it, and then move back into your healing core of love. As everything is amplified today, amplify what you want to see in this world. This is an excellent time to dream a new reality into being. I'll repeat that. This is an excellent time to dream a new reality into being. How'd I do as Galen?
You did great. Your voice isn't quite as low, but you did just fine.
Wow.
And you know what this reminds me of is something that I got on one of the downloads today. One of the messages said that every time you're dreaming a new dream, you're thinking of something, you connect with every other person in the world who's having the same or similar thoughts. So it's like there's a communality, a coming together of ideas. So dream big. Think about what you'd like to see in the world. What would your life be like? What would your children's lives be like without war? What does the celebration of the end of all that look like? You know, I have my favorite pictures, which I put in my second book that just kind of drifted in. But what are your favorite pictures of what the world would be like? At the end of that book, the last thing it says is dream the world and live the dream. And I think that's, you know, that's where we're going. And we can sight forward into what will be and help create it that way.
Wow. Powerful. Powerful messages on a playground. You know, I gotta say, when I talk to some of my girlfriends, I'm like, okay, we're at that stage where, you know, the children are out of the house and, you know, maybe we are quasi-retired or retired from our work world. What's on the bucket list? What do you want to do? What's next? Hello, puppy. What's next?
Dog who says, "Where's my dinner?
Where's my kisses?"
Oh, where's
Yeah.
your dinner?
But I found that it's really difficult for some of us to actually start dreaming. We've been so wired, especially as moms or nurturers, I shouldn't put it to just female, but nurturers, you're so in the throe of helping and supporting that you forget to dream. You don't even want to think about dreaming. You're just either reacting and responding to what's coming in. And so it's a really good challenge to stop and pause and go, not only what do I dream of, but how does it feel? Like, can I feel myself in that celebration of, let's say, a child's wedding or graduation from college? I'm going to put you and I on the spot, Krista. for something personal. Like, is there something personal that you want to dream into reality?
Well, I know what he wants to dream into reality.
Yeah, big piles of dog food.
I should have left the door open. That's the problem. Hi, buddy.
You will feed me now, right? Look at the paw.
I'm going to keep scratching you. Buddy, go sit on the bed. Go sit on the bed. It's okay. You got to wait a little bit. I'm going to call Jenny. Help.
Let me pause. I'm going to pause real quick. So we're back, and I've just asked the question for both of us. What's our personal dream? Because Galen is saying, you know, it's an excellent time to dream a new reality into being. And if I kept it super personal, and I started feeling these emotions. In fact, I want to take off my glasses for a minute. There's a part of me that I haven't shared yet on the playground, and that is what I do every day. I paint. And I haven't, other than this painting behind me, I haven't really started talking about this huge part of myself that I love. I love it so much. And so my dream would be to share these paintings, and there's literally hundreds of them of all sizes, to start moving them into the world. And the biggest part of the dream is if they go into hospitals or places where people will feel into them. So I'm trained as a professional artist, and so typically the trajectory is, oh, get yourself into a museum, you know, get the work shown in New York. But my dream is bigger than that. It's not, that's not my destination. The dream is more, is there a way that people can experience an activation that if they choose to do it with a painting and allow themselves to do that, it will enhance them in some way? I mean, so for me, it's feeling someone standing there going, for even just 3 seconds, feeling something.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And that shows your desire to be of service. Because in a museum, people are walking by looking at one thing that says this and something else from someone else that has an entirely different message. And unless you're seeing a museum full of one person's work and see the way it progresses, you're just getting tossed and turned around like you're in a whirlwind or in a, you know, crazy sea where you're seeing one thing and another, and, you know, how are you taking it in? It's not, there's no consistency, or, you know, it's not like you're getting one message that's expanding, you're getting all these different messages at once.
Oh, I love that. And as you're talking, I'm hearing you don't even need the physical walls. Create a virtual place for anyone who wants to enter. You can have this kind of activation review, almost like a virtual gallery. So perhaps you'll be my buddy and ask me the question once in a while, how are you doing with your dreamer? See, like, you know, like I know you're painting, but are you sharing them? Because what good does it? I have like stockpiles, and
I've been
love
wanting
painting.
to see what you do online, not just the beautiful rainbow behind you with the geometric in the middle, where with your face in the middle, but a lot of your other things.
I do have a website called Art of the Akash, but I haven't publicized it really. I haven't really been told too many people because it's the spiritual work that's coming forward.
Right, right.
So, and the Akash is about quantum. It's where the Akashic records, where time, past, present, future all comes together. And this is the source that I'm painting from. Anyway, so that would be my dream, is to start sharing the activations. I'm speaking, I'm sharing myself on a playground. So my next level is, okay, how about those paintings that aren't just paintings for walls? They're for activations and supporting others on their healing journeys.
Well, maybe one of the clearest ways you can do it is with the forum you have right here on the Ascension Playground. How many people do you touch? More people than would go into a most likely.
No, right? Good point, especially with COVID. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so that's enough about me. Do you have a special dream? Because this is Galen asking us, this is an excellent time to dream a new reality into being? What would your dream reality be?
Well, my dream is not, I mean, what I'm doing right now, being here with you and doing these animal totems and spreading that is really meeting my dream for now. That's exciting as a personal dream. And I'd like to share a few of my paintings, some of that I've done quite a long time ago that have to do with ascension one way or another. We could do that maybe on this channel. We could, you know, share different things. But my dreams are really for the big picture for humanity. I'm a futurist, you know, as an Aquarian. Yeah, there we go. And I really see the picture of a nightscape in, say, Richmond or Oakland, with people dancing in the streets, people so happy, you know, bikers full of tattoos and, you know, former gang members dancing with little old women and babies, and everyone's so happy because we don't have to be afraid anymore, because the guns are gone, and the idea of trying to take something that doesn't belong to you is over, and all people are having enough. People are fed and happy and ready to share what they are and who they are at their hearts with other people. So that's my biggest wish. It's just, it makes me so happy to feel that energy of that joy and the music and the lack of fear and the total trust, because that's where we're going. And I can't wait. You know, I probably won't be here. In the second book, I heard that it would be February 2030, and I just saw something else, and that would really signal the shift of intentions, people's intentions. So, you know, I don't know if I'll make it there or not. We'll see.
Hey, that's only 8 years away, right?
I know.
Come on, you could do it.
I
8
could
years.
do it.
8 more. Give us 8 more.
Yeah.
Well, just hearing you say that dream for the bigger vision, it gives me chills, because I never thought in our age that we would see the tragedies of war to this level.
Yeah.
And yet I'm trying to hold the energetic balance of positive and negative and try and stay out of the narrative, but to hold a bigger vision like you're talking about, where we are able to see that we're all connected. We look in each other's eyes and go, my brother, my sister. And I know it sounds kumbaya, but you know what? When we all bleed, it's the same color. And
Right.
you know,
And
and
it's
we're all,
the time for kumbaya. Come on.
it's the time for kumbaya.
It's
Okay.
time.
And the age of Aquarius, right?
Right, exactly. Here we are. And you know, the thing that I find well, kind of, you know, very sad is that all of these things are happening that are reminding us of what was and what we no longer want. And when people get lost in the sadness, they've lost a part of themselves that could be envisioning the future. And so while knowing what's going on and how hard it is, there's part of it that just is just getting to the end of something. You have to know it. You just like the message, you have to see it all. You have to know what's happening. And and people have to make a different decision, a decision that we're all one. And, you know, unfortunately, things have to break apart before something new can form. And there we are, right in that place, in that chaos place. So you and I cannot, you know, we can choose where to put our attention. And while sending love to all the problem areas of the world and all the sad things that are happening, you know, we can also dream of a future where that's all dissolved, it's gone.
Wow. Well, let me end by saying that image of the caterpillar turning into a chrysalis. You know, now we're with the chrysalis opening and that wet butterfly sitting on top of its chrysalis shell. It's at a choice point. It can choose to just sit there on the chrysalis and be very sad that it's not a caterpillar anymore. Or that choice point could be, well, I don't know what these wings are, but let me at least try and dry them and then try and see if I can really fly. So I feel like what you just said reminds me that butterfly now has a choice. You could stay and just feel sad that I used to be inside this. I don't know exactly what happens, but I want to go back in.
I used to be safe and sound in there.
In the womb, the cocoon, I wanted to go back the way it was, right? But as we know, this ascension process, we're in this river, in this current. And so there is no going back. There's only choosing love or fear, love or fear. And then as Galen said, and I'll repeat it one more time, this is an excellent time to dream a new reality into being. Oh, thank you, Krista. Thank you so much for coming and joining me on the playground. I hope you'll come back. And I heard that you're open to doing a few more animal totem readings. So if someone would like to get a personal reading, you might be able to make it onto Krista's growing list. And to reach her, her email is tipperwillow@yahoo.com. And remind us again of what they need to send you for a personal reading.
Oh, so simple. Just email me. So I have your email and current first, middle, and last name. And that's it.
First, middle, and last name. You don't even need to know what city and state they're in.
No, nor their birth date, nor anything else.
Because Spirit will know how to find them. And then you get a beautiful image, not just of the animal, but a narrative sometimes that comes with that animal.
Oh, yeah. They can be very talkative, those animals.
I do. Well, thank you again for sharing with us and for keeping it really real on the Ascension Playground. See you next time. Bye, Krista.
Take care.